Welcome to YOUCANIC. In this video I'm going to go over the steps on how to replace the airbag and the steering wheel on a Ford. Here we have a 2013 Ford Fusion, but this also applies to newer Ford Fusions that is going to have the same steering wheel and airbag. It also applies to Ford Edge, I believe it's 2015 and up. So if your airbag is going to look like this, steering wheel looks like this, so the procedure is going to be the same. So let's get started here. The first thing you need to do is you need to start by opening the hood and then going and disconnecting the negative battery terminal. After you have disconnected the battery, you will need to wait 15 minutes and then come inside the vehicle. When you come inside, go and press the horn once. It's not going to beep, but it's just going to make sure any current that might be in the electrical system is completely discharged. You do need to be extremely careful when handling airbags, because if they do deploy while you're working, it can cause injuries and death. So I'm going to be extremely careful. Now in this airbag, to release the airbag, right here at the bottom, right here, you can turn it to the side. You're going to see a hole right here. And now I'm using an Allen wrench because it's flat, and you'll be pushing a spring, which I'm about to show you in a minute. But you'll be pushing right there, and then once you're gonna feel that spring. But as you feel that spring, this is gonna pop up just a little bit. Okay, so once you pop this up, right here at the top, there's nothing to release per se from the back, but there's two hooks that go down just like that. So what you need to do is you need to push this up and then pull it out. All right, so these two hooks will get released. You see that right there? There's a hook, and then there's one on the other side. Okay, and then you do want to handle this extremely carefully, because if it deploys again, it's going to cause injuries. Right here at the bottom, we have a spring. Let me show you closer how that spring is and what you are pushing. So with our Allen wrench, you can also do this with a flathead screwdriver, but Phillips screwdriver is not going to work very well, although it's possible. But this Allen wrench works pretty good. So you insert it here in the hole, and then you'll be pushing on the spring like so. Okay. So you'll be feeling that spring. When you feel that pressure pushing back on the key there, then you know that you push on the spring and you can release it. And once you do that, again, you push it and lift it up to unhook it from here. This is where the two hooks go on top. So once you do that, all you need to do is you need to here you can use a pick tool or a flathead screwdriver to disconnect these airbag connectors. I'm going to show you in just a second. Okay, so now on the back of the airbag, you have these connectors. In order to disconnect them, you don't just pull them. What you want to do is you want to pull out this orange part. Okay. Right, so once you do that, the connector can come out. Okay. Now these connectors can all be swapped around. They're not going to fit. You can't try to connect this over here. It shouldn't fit. So now this one can come off too. Okay, so that airbag is disconnected. We do have this right here, and so you need to pull on the red piece first before you can press on this and disconnect it. So this red piece right here, that needs to be pulled out a little bit. Then you want to take the airbag and put it somewhere safe. Handle it carefully. And now we move on to the steering wheel. Alright, so on the steering wheel we have this right here. This is a 24mm bolt. It might be a Allen bolt as well, might be Torx, so it might just vary between some models. But what you want to do is you want to hold the steering wheel, have somebody hold that, counter hold technically, and then you put the socket there and you break this loose. Okay. Alright, so once you break that loose, don't remove the bolt here, but do not pull out the steering wheel yet. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. so we have that removed. So the reason why we should not pull this out yet is because what I would like to do is mark the steering column and the steering wheel. So you want to mark there, and there's a line in there already. So you want to mark there, you do another mark over here. So when we reinsert this, you want to put it back in the exact same location, otherwise your steering wheel is going to be off center. When you're driving, the steering wheel is going to be off to the side. Okay, so keep that in mind. And I have disconnected this right here, which we'll simply pull that off. This coil spring, as we said earlier, you don't want to turn this around or rotate that. You want to keep it in the same exact location. Put the wires through here. Okay, and then the other thing is, we made those a couple of marks here. The steering wheel and steering column, steering wheel and the steering column. You want to make sure you line those up, and then take the bolt here, and then you're gonna put some thread locker on this. You can see there was some thread locker on that already, but you're gonna put some new thread locker so that doesn't come loose while you're driving. And then it's important to also torque this to spec. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna have somebody hold this, and then counter hold it basically for you, and then while you torque this this bolt here to spec. Okay, all right, and then that has got to be pretty tight in there. You gotta make sure that torque and the steering wheel is not loose. Okay, then you connect this connector here. You press that in until it locks in place. Then what you'll do is you'll take the airbag. You're gonna connect this here, and once you hear this click, you want to push the red piece as well. Connectors for the airbag. Black connector goes in the black. First it goes, you push a connector in, then you press the orange part and block that, and then you repeat it for the yellow connector. You're gonna push that all the way in, then press the orange part to lock that connector. So once you do that, then alright, once you've pressed these two in, what you want to do is carefully, alright, okay, you come here, and then you take the airbag, and first you can see these hooks here, they need to go by the spring, so they're going to go down like so. So you want to start up a little bit with the airbag, up, push in, okay, and then push down, and then you're going to push down that this bottom part lines up as well, and then you're going to press this in, and it's going to lock on the spring right down there, and that will be it. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. Once you've done that, then you go ahead and reconnect the battery, and then start the car. The steering wheel sensor might need calibration because you disconnect the battery. So what you want to do is you start the car, turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, all the way to the right, repeat that a couple of times, drive for 2 or 3 minutes, and if you got any traction control lights or anything of that nature on the dashboard, they should reset. And that's all. Thanks for watching.